So we're in a new decade now, so as part of our Resolution Rescue, brought to you by Club Fitness, we are talking about setting some intentions to try to slow down a little bit this year. Behavioral pediatrician Dr. Tim Jordan is here with four ways to slow down and just enjoy life a little bit more. Man, we need you right now more than ever. Nice to have you.
Thanks.
Because, you think, well, once we get past the stress of the holidays and into the new year, things are going to settle down, and inevitably they never do.
And old habits die hard.
Yeah, it's very true. So you've got four big ones that you're going to lay on us today. What are we talking about?
First one is called focusing on the moments between the moments. Okay. Which is an interesting, concept, which means that we've spent so much focus on big things like birthday parties and prom and, big things, but oftentimes the times when we're slow down and those little moments between the moments. Let me give you an example. At our summer camp, there's a big hill down to the lake, down and up at the end. Yeah. And so the lake is fun, but oftentimes it's the walks up the lake where we have those little spontaneous, subtle moments. One time I was coming up to a group of campers in the middle, at 9 o'clock at night, beautiful stars. We laid down the road, did some stargazing, and we decided from that day forward, every time we saw the Big Dipper, one of those stars was our group's star.
Oh, wow.
20 years later, we still remember.
They talk about that.
Those little subtle moments where it's spontaneous, you don't plan it, but that's where oftentimes the closeness and the joy comes.
It's the journey, not the destination. Right. That's what they say, right? Okay, that's great. That's a good one. I'll remember that. What's number two?
The other one is to savor the moments, which means that if you're having a really fun time or a moment where people feel really close, there's a sense of collaboration, it feels good. I'm with my campers, I tell them, let's pause for 20 or 30 seconds and just take it in. Because it's easy in this day and age to rush to the next thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Click a button and the next thing. But let's stop and really take in the feelings and how does it feel right now? And then bring back another memory of a previous experience where you had the same feelings. And then focus on that experience just for 20 or 30 seconds. And the longer we hold those kinds of memories in our awareness, our conscious awareness, the more neurons that fire in that region and the memory gets imprinted better.
Wow.
And we tend to remember those things better then.
Very good. Okay, so not to say what's next, but what's next? You just told us not to do that, but...
Yeah, one thing at a time.
Right.
So maybe let go of this whole cultural thing like multitasking, how it's so revered, and instead do one thing at a time and be in the moment, especially when you're talking about time with your kids. It can be something as simple as in meal times, you turn off all the electronics. When you're outside kicking a soccer ball in the yard, there's no electronics, you're not checking your mail. If you focus on one thing at a time, it does slow things down because you're more fully engaged in that activity, that thing. So things do tend to slow down.
I can tell you from experience that's absolutely true. And then rounding it out, number four, what's that?
Follow your kid's lead. Our grandson, Louis, who just turned 2 about a month ago, he came over this weekend and spent the night. And I spent a lot of time just kind of following him around because little kids are fully in the moment and they'll sit down. He was outside picking up rocks and throwing them, picking up rocks. And so if you follow kids' lead and get it on their speed, instead of trying to rush them to ours, it slows us down because they are in the moment and they are taking their time. They can spend hours in the sandbox or hours looking at a worm or looking at whatever. So we can be more like kids and it helps to follow their lead.
And we'll enjoy it, and they'll enjoy the process that they're going through even more.
Right.
Dr. Jordan, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I feel somehow more zen already. We're going to post a link to Dr. Jordan's blog on our website, kmov.com/greatday. Guys.